example here of my current working model, I guess I can call it, aka the Riordan method. This is the range of time and space here, Mount Kilimanjaro. The type of quote-unquote targets that, again, most viewers, they don't like them. They hate them. They're tough, man, and they are. They're tough. They can be tough. But my purpose of going in, again, I'm blind to that. I have no idea. This is the range of time and space, or the AKA target that I'm about to work. I have no idea what it is. Could be anything. But the only thing that is important is this page right here. This is the most important page. Entry proprioception. I have to get proprioception. I have to experience dimensional sensations in order to move on to page 2. If I'm not experiencing any of these, I gotta stop. I gotta be disciplined enough to stop and say it ain't happening, and come back later. Luckily, in this circumstance, the dimensional sensations were good. I enjoyed them, and it was an interesting session. Now, I'm not solving the mysteries of the universe here. These are basic, base level perceptions, dimensional sensations. There's shape form that comes through in here that matches this range here. And, but this is the most important thing, you know. It's funny to me that, I mean, I've just heard it so many times. Some viewers don't like these kind. Yeah, they'll say they're boring. They'll call them boring. This is a boring target. This is a boring target. And I think they get that from Ingo Swann. I think Ingo put that, injected that into the zeitgeist of remote viewing. It was a boring target. There's no such thing as a boring target, Ingo. No such thing. Boring targets don't exist. But let's go and take a look and see what happens here. I don't know if I have any system audio. Getting ready. I need proprioception. Boom! Right off the first one, and I felt it. There was a dimensional sensation here. I felt it came through very strongly. Very strongly. Right like that. Just like that. And my pattern complete is a mountain slope. So just like in my previous video, you know, the catalyst that propelled me into the exploration of the process was this right here. I want remote viewing to be taking place right from the start, not 10 pages in, or something along those lines. You know, I want it to start right here. You know, I just do. I just do. So yeah, this is true. So it was true. My ideograph was true. My dimensional sensation was true. Good start. Becomes more difficult as I go, as we will see. There's some moving, flowing, wavy factor here. So I press on with another ideograph. What could possibly come through next? Explore that for a bit. And it feels like, well, it felt like there were several people there. I have no confirmation for that. But it's my dimensional sensations that are really the most interesting. The most interesting. I could have just experienced the dimensional sensations. All the stuff I'm writing down to document it and for the video for people to see. Otherwise, I would just explore the sensation and not write anything down. I would have been more than happy to continue to explore the dimensional sensation without the burden of writing and all that kind of stuff. I was enjoying it. It was very airy, it was very floaty. I was like right up here. Very airy, very floaty, you know, not confined. It was very airy. Now this is where I had to figure something out here. I had to figure something out right here because I had airy and I had floaty. And that's based on the dimensional sensation. Again, I'm like up here. Floaty was reminding me of water. Airy reminds me of air. You know, I'm in an open, airy place. It's floaty, like, you know, like clouds would float by, or a balloon would float by, or something like that. But now I'm dealing with water or air. Now I'm sure there's water there, there's snow there, and that's really not the point. That's not the point. The point is I am now have to look at the dimensionality between these two elements, and that's what was interesting to me. That's what was interesting. Which one am I going to go with? There was a weightless feel, which again could be either or, feeling weightless. There's my mountain slope ideograph again, and I'm still up, you know, I'm up in the air, man. I'm way up in the air. And I just enjoying it. I'm enjoying the dimensional sensation. Here are my pattern completes that are based off of these two still. Pattern complete, submarine. Again, floaty, or you know, you feel weightless under the water. So I'm dealing with a pattern complete here of being underwater. That's the point. I'm dealing with a pattern complete of being underwater. And I'm not thoroughly convinced that that's where I want to go. So I also have a pattern complete of an airplane, which is in the air, because of that dimensional sensation of it, or a balloon in the air. So I'm right about up here. But as per the thing, a mountain slope, but I'm way up in the air. I'm up mountain slope and I'm way up in the air. So there's my shape form. I get a shape form now, which matches. That's true. And I'm back to my dimensional sensation. Now, see, I don't care about being right here. I don't care about being right. All I care about is that my dimensional sensation is real. Proprioception is happening. That's the only thing that matters. And I'm hanging out with these dimensional sensations. I could have just hung out there and just stayed there only. That's all that mattered to me. If I apply pressure, it moves down. It's very, very airy in the air. See, here's my shape form, and I'm like right up here. This is where I feel that I am. That's where all my dimensional sensations are. I'm floating around up here. If you put pressure on it, the air would move and that kind of thing. And it's blue and it's white and it's shadowy. That kind of stuff. I'm still battling a little bit with these pattern completes. It's moving. Very airy. very air floating around. So I resolved this very interesting element here, which was, again, the beauty of doing this kind of work without having to have someone else judge it or have it be of any importance, that this here would be of any importance. This here is of no importance to me. It only serves to experience this, and that's the beauty of it. That's why I love these. I may be the only viewer who has that perspective, and that's totally okay. But here's something very interesting that I was able to do here. This was fascinating to me in the session. Because I'm here. Wait a minute. Am I underwater, or am I in the air like a balloon or an airplane? Which one is it? Above water, or am I in the air? So I resolve it here. It's very airy. I'm in the air. I'm floating above. The air is less dense than water. This feels less dense. It's airy. So I resolve to where I am, which is up here. Above my mountain slope. And there it is, my shape, again, my shape form. The shape form was nice and strong. It was, you know, I was happy with it. It keeps coming up. Didn't really need to change it. It was what it was. And I was fine with that. Curved top. It's a curved top thing. In the air. It was just cool. It was cool to me. It felt pressable. Curved dome top. You know, I didn't really need to go much further into it. The pressure on it. Could push it down. From my perspective, I felt like I was, like the air pressure was pushing down, you know, pushing down on something. It's like water, but this feels less dense. Again, there's water. There is, like I said, there's water. There's a lot of snow, that kind of thing. But it wasn't that big a deal to me. Not that big a deal. I had my shape form. I was happy with that. Reminded me of a balloon. Kind of bouncy. And that was it. Oh, a basketball too. Because of the bouncy thing. So there was my shape form. I was happy with my shape form. Of the few senses that I allowed for, they were right. Blue, white, shadowy. Very airy. And I felt like I was floating above this thing. Above this shape form right here. I had to resolve, am I in the floating above in the air, or am I underwater? I resolved that I was up in the air. And my complete here was a mountain slope. So this was fascinating. I really enjoyed going through this, the density of between air and water. This was really, really cool. This was really cool. I really enjoyed that. Well, that's just one quick example. Many more to come.